Okay, happy Monday, or whichever day you end up seeing this. We will get started in about a minute. Give y'all some time to hop on. We'll build a nice amount of heat today, but we will also be bringing in a little bit more of a therapeutic edge as well because, well, we've got the new moon happening today, so sometimes that can make us feel a little less energized. We also have an eclipse happening today, which we cannot see from where we're at here in North America, but if you're in South America or Antarctica, you'll be able to see it there. And really, overall, what I'm getting at with that is it's a time where you may feel a little less energized. As far as the eclipse goes, this is highlighting the end of a 20-year cycle. So if you go back to 20 years ago, yeah, and then just see, so like year 2000, where were you at, right? Where were you at in the sense of your career? Where were you at in your relationship cycles? Really just kind of going back that 20 years and noticing like, oh, where was I at in my mind? You know, and noticing which changes you implemented then through whether it's your personal development or in other areas of your life, like maybe you were traveling a lot or maybe you bought your first house or whatever it is or whatever it was. Just taking a mental note on the things that were happening, like I said, about 20 years ago, and noticing what is kind of coming up for you now. There may be this kind of surgence or this kind of push in a way, or perhaps a little whisper of the soul saying, hey, there's something else that it's time to begin, right? Like there's a new project happening or a new way of life, like the systems of mind, of behavior, of whatever that weren't serving or that aren't serving anymore, they're generally speaking very easily falling away at this point, or they're really at that point of the end of pressure, right? There's so much resistance between where you're genuinely at in regards to contrast of where perhaps you were at before. So it's that time of really letting go, and with like, I mean, perhaps there is some grief to letting go always in these cycles, but we also have like this really nice foundation that we've already built, which is giving us what? Confidence and encouragement to really press forward, right? Because we know we're following that which is really serving us and will allow us in turn to serve better. Yeah. So check out what's happening in your life and we'll get some yoga stuff rolling, but perhaps for your intention in today's practice, it could be helpful to just check in with yourself, notice what cycles, again, checking in with 20-year cycles here. So what was happening in your life 20 years ago, and where do you see some overlay with what's happening right now? And what would you like to do differently? Where are you feeling called to shift from your heart space? And of course, in order to really tap into that calling of the heart space, we need to be clear there, right? So we'll be working on clearing that space quite a bit today. Coming into a seated position, whatever's comfortable for you. Perhaps sitting on a prop, allowing the hands to just settle in onto the knees. And sit tall. Close down through the eyes for a moment. Notice how your body is feeling at this point in time. Notice any spaces of tension or nervousness or ease. Whatever is moving through, just notice. And start to take a little bit more space. So take up more space when you breathe. Think of expanding your belly outwards. And think of the belly moving forwards, out to the sides, and even the lower back expanding on these cycles of breath. And that expansion trickles up toward the lower part of the ribs, feeling that expansion of the rib cage in all four directions. Each time you exhale, allow the shoulders to relax just a tiny bit more. Each inhale allows your hips to sink a little heavier. Beautiful. So maintaining this seated position, and if you can, keep your eyes closed. So for the next bits of movement, let's see if we can take our inner attention all the way down into our belly, into the lowest part of the belly we can find, and even into the pelvic floor. So find a little lift there of your pelvic floor, just a gentle little bit of awareness, and your navel will also draw inwards. So for these next bits of movement, we want to think of massaging ourselves kind of from the inside out. Okay, so this awareness through pelvic floor and the navel. Keep that support. And then just moving slow, keep your eyes closed. Inner gaze is fixated on keeping that awareness through that lowest part of the torso. Slowly, whichever direction you want to start, just draw your chest over to one side and circle around front and then go to the other. Just big circles of the chest. I'm starting to the right and circling forward, and then to the left and rounding the spine back. Now, these movements do not need to be large, okay? We're aiming to maintain as much of that foundation through the hips as we can, as well as, of course, that core connection, right? Because it's going to kind of fall in and fall out as we're moving here. So doing your best to maintain that gentle lift of pelvic floor, that gentle drawing inwards of the navel, and notice how it shifts. So as you breathe in, allow your belly to get a relaxed state for a moment. So expand the belly, feel everything soften, and as you exhale, feel the lift as your navel draws in. And just practice. And then when you feel ready, reverse your circles. So go the other way, circling the chest to the left and forward and to the right, or whichever direction you're going. But same principles apply. We have solid foundation in those hips, and inner awareness is toward that pelvic floor and core. Coordinating breath with the movements. Beautiful. Okay. So maintaining closed eyes, coming all the way back to center, and then just slowly rotate your chest over to the right. Your left hand comes onto your right knee. The right palm comes onto the mat just outside your right hip. Allow the elbows to bend and take a little bow with your chest over to the right. So we want to, again, make sure that those hips stay nice and rooted. This can be a beautiful stretch for that outer left hip, but also a great opportunity to once again find that little pelvic floor awareness, navel awareness, deepen the twist of the core, and then really find your breath and get the massage here. Breathing in, breathing out. Feel your right elbow draw slightly in toward your body, and feel your sternum move a little bit more to the right without lifting your left sit bone. So that left sit bone still feels heavy. Press it down. Breathe. And then slowly keep your eyes closed if you can. Come all the way up. Just let your palms come onto either knee. Chest faces center. And on your next exhale, let's go to the other side. So twisting to the left, right hand onto the left knee, left palm onto the mat, just outside the left hip somewhere. Eyes stay closed as that navel draws in, the chest rotates more to the left, and we take a little bow over to that side. Now stretching that outer right hip. You might also feel it in the hip flexors, maybe even quadriceps. Notice what you notice. Sternum pulls to the left a little bit more. Maybe you can bow a little deeper. Right sit bone is heavier. Breathe in, breathe out. And then slowly come all the way up. Keep your eyes closed still. Your chest comes back in through center. Hands are on the knees. And just breathe in and out here, neutral spine. Good, then gently blinking open through the eyes. Let's take the hands behind the head. You could interlace the fingers here or stack one hand on the other. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed and away from the ears. Drawing a full breath in and out. Let's actually switch out our legs before we go into this next one because we've been seated in that position for a while. So just bringing your opposite leg in front, and then we'll bring the hands back behind the head. So elbows are wide, shoulders are down. Feel that space all around your neck and shoulders. So maintaining that tall spine, breathing in. On the breathe out, we're hinging to the right. So just a little hinge, not leaning forward, not leaning back, just to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Good. Center to the right. Center to the left. Beautiful. So continue this action, coordinating your breath with your movements. So each exhale, you're hinging to a side. Each inhale, you're coming through center. If you can, again, close your eyes and just allow this to be the focus. Little bit of time here, side to side. Keep the shoulders in check. This could be a really nice stretch for the armpits, and we're certainly working in through arms, shoulders, whole cardiovascular system. We're affecting in through the heart and lungs. Stay with the breath. And you can speed it up to the pace that suits you, or of course, you can slow things down. So see what works. Just a little longer. Find the space through the obliques. Really find the pace, the rhythm that suits you. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, Next time you come over to the left, allow that to be the last one, coming to center, and then relax your hands down onto your knees and just sit tall. Breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. Working a little bit more in this chest shoulder region. Let's make fists with the hands and bend the elbows so that the fists are kind of like in front of the shoulders here. Sit tall. Good. When you're ready, the breath will be in and out of the nose. We breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, come back in. Okay? So you can choose to go slow. See how you're feeling today. Okay, the shoulders stay down. If it's available for you with relative ease, then you can really speed it up here. Yeah? This is a great breath for energizing the body. Bastrika is what it's called. And once again, we're working that whole area of the arms, the lungs, the heart, getting everything moving through that upper body. So creating freedom for that heart space. You may notice that you've got tension that settles into your traps. You may notice that maybe like you're under your armpits or your side ribs feels tight. Whatever it is that you notice, simply do your best to breathe through it and continue with the motions, whatever pace you're going at today. Yeah? And you'll notice that beautiful rhythm, and there's that little vibration that moves through as you're moving your arms, right? Giving us opportunity to shake out that old gunky stuff. We're almost there. Good. When you're ready, slow it down. Let your palms come onto your knees. Eyes are closed, sitting tall. Breathing in and out of the nose. Notice what that breath opened up for you. It can be quite powerful. Good. From here, let's shift through our legs so we can come to seated on the shins. Okay, so the feet sweep back. You may want to use the support of a blanket. I know that is more comfortable in my opinion. For me, it feels much nicer to have the blanket there. You may want the support under your ankles. Just make sure you feel good here. The heels open up a little bit so that your bum can settle down in between them. And the big toes touch. The heels are open though. Okay. Now from here, let's bring the hands toward the knees. And once your hands are reaching to the knees, then start to pull your chest forward and your bum back. So notice my elbows are bending a little bit in toward me, and my tail is moving back as my sternum pulls forward. Okay. Once you feel that beautiful stability, bring your hands behind your back, interlace the fingers. Left thumb crosses over right for women, right over left for men. Base of palms together. Draw your shoulders away from the ears. Draw the elbows toward one another. Your chest is open. Your collarbones are broad. Now you can choose to stay here, slow deep breathing. Or if available, slow deep breathing, knuckles reach to the wall behind you. And maybe breath of fire in and out of the nose. If you can, focus your gaze towards the tip of your nose. You could also close your eyes here if your eyes get tired. Good, breathe all the way in. Hold, pelvic floor pulls in. And then exhale, nice and slowly release, come up, soften your gaze, let your palms rest on your thighs. Notice that beautiful sensation of opening across your chest. Notice the sensations down through your arms and shoulders. You might get little tingles moving around there. Just listen to what's moving through your body. That's another thing that happens. I mean, of course, it could happen really anytime we choose to tune in, but is especially highlighted through these peak times like eclipses, is that innate wisdom that we carry comes through that little bit clearer. So you may gain some clarity on something, that's been a little bit confusing, or where you've been having a challenging time deciding where you want to go. You might really just gain that insight of clarity today, or maybe over the next couple days. Notice that inner space. And when you're ready from here, if you can, keep your eyes closed. We're simply transitioning into a dolphin pose. So just crawling your hands forward on the mat. Take your time to adjust back through your knees. Elbows come down onto the ground first. Elbows are shoulder width apart. Grab on opposite triceps. Make sure you have your distance. Palms come down, toes tuck, knees and hips lift up, dolphin pose. Walk the toes a little closer into you. And find the place where you can stabilize here. Your belly moves toward your thighs as your hips move to the sky. Your head does not touch the ground. Breathe in, breathe out. Stay with the breath, lift your hips a little higher, walk your toes slightly closer into you, bend your knees a little more. Envisioning like you're stacking your hips above your shoulders. Full deep cycles of breath. In and out. Good. When you're ready, slowly lower the knees down. Gently blink open the eyes, and let's come up into table pose. So planting the palms on the mat. Perhaps maintaining the blanket support under the knees. And let's untuck the toes here. So working with the breath and some movement, take your time to move through this stuff. We're reaching opposite arm and opposite leg. Right hand reaches forward, left hand back. We breathe in. So you can reach back and even up, and then breathing out, elbow to knee. Breathing in, extend, and breathing out, elbow to knee. Okay, and then we've got that little round in the back. Follow the breath. Keep going. You can close the eyes here. Again, find the pace that suits you, but try to keep it fairly moderate so we can really build that heat, and really also tap in to any gunky stuff trying to hang out around the heart space. Beautiful. 2 more. Follow your breath. And then back to table. Do the other side. Keep that heat. Left hand forward, right toes back. And crunch. Inhale, lengthen, and crunch. Find your pace and get it rocking. Good. Build that heat through the core. Yes. Keep it rocking. The glutes, the belly, we're getting everything. The shoulders. Yeah. Almost there. And when you're ready, just do 2 more. And then left hand to the floor, right knee to the floor. Child's pose just for a moment. Maybe you want to stack your hands. And then slowly edge back to your dolphin pose. Elbows under the shoulders, palms are down. Lift the hips. Breathing in, breathing out. Press your chest to your shins, your bum to the sky. And then knees come down. Untuck the toes, come back to table, palms on the mat. So same idea, except without the arm and leg extension. So cat-cow, but moving with a little bit more of a moderate breath pace. And of course, you can breathe slow here, listen to your body, but if it's available to you, go a little bit faster, okay? So same principle, cat-cow, we exhale, arch the back. We inhale, open the heart, lift the tail. Your arms stay super stable the whole time. We're getting the work for the spine. Yeah, stay with the breath. Good. When you're ready, slow things down. Come into stillness. Let the knees open up a little wider. Child's pose. Breathing in, breathing out here. Notice all that opening that's happening around the heart. Magic stuff. Shifting forward, table pose. Knees come under the hips. Let's bring our right foot forward in a lunge. Now we want to walk the left knee back, so we've got a nice bit of opening in front of the left hip. Left toes are tucked. Fingers are on either side of the right foot. Pull your belly in. Left toes again are tucked. Left knee floats up. Yes. Breathing in. As you breathe out, feel your left inner thigh wrapping in and then lower your left knee. Untuck the left toes. Chest stays nice and bright here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now you could stay right here, or if available, you can walk your hands back as you lift your chest and then open your heart to the ceiling. Now you can have your fingers touch the ground if available, but if not, just reaching your fingers toward the ground. Open that heart. And then slowly bring the chest back forward. Fingers are on the mat, back toes tuck. Now from here you could stay, or if available, gently pull your hips back as you bend into the left knee and straighten your right leg. Now you can fold over your right leg, optional Hanumanasana or splits. Right heel drags forwards, left toes are still tucked, chest lifts. And if you're comfortable in your splits, you could do a little back bend here. Breathing in and out. And then gently neutral spine. Plant the palms down to core your belly in, lift hips, drag the front leg in, and then bend into the right knee and send it back to table. Do one round of cat-cow. And then on exhale, left foot comes forward now. We're in a lunge. Walking the right knee back. Fingers are either side of that front foot. Right toes are tucked. Make sure you can feel that nice sinking action in the hips. And then core your belly in and float the right knee up. Find the inward rotation with that right thigh. And then lay your right knee back down. Maybe untuck the toes. Pausing here. Perhaps starting to walk the hands back as we open the chest. Find a little back bend here. Noticing the differences between the sides. And then gently coming back forward, fingers on the mat. Then from here, optional of course, but perhaps lengthening the front leg and bending into the back knee. Fingertips still on the mat, maybe sending that left heel forward and coming down into splits on this side. Breath in and out. Maybe even working that tiny little back bend. Breathe. And then when you're ready, neutral spine, belly cores in, front foot pulls in, bend into front knee, and then bring it back. Table. One round of cat-cow. Neutral spine. Downward dog. Hips lift up and back. Feet are hip distance apart. Press the chest toward the shins. Wrap the triceps inward. Index knuckles and thumb knuckles press down. Big toes push down. Heels aim for the ground. Think of your arches lifting up. Wrap your triceps in again. Beautiful. From here, we're walking the hands back to the feet. Let your knees bend so your belly is easily resting on your thighs. Now from here, hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Pull your chest away from the floor and your elbows toward each other. Look at your feet. Reach your knuckles up to the ceiling. Breathe in, breathe out. Belly is still on the thighs. Let your head relax a little bit. Reach those knuckles up. Another breath in. And then breathing out slowly, let your hands release to come all the way down. Fingertips to the ground, half back, look forward. And then stand up. Press into your feet. Come all the way up to standing. Feet are hip distance apart. Awesome. From here, reach the hands forward, palms face one another, shoulder height. And just pause for a moment, letting your shoulders relax. Now keep the shoulders relaxed and then start to reach the hands up. You might notice you get to a point and things start to feel stuck. See if you can open your hands a little wider and then continue to reach the hands up so that we don't end up shrugging the shoulders But instead, we end up getting that reach and that lift, okay? Breathing in, breathing out. Now keep your navel drawing in and send your thumbs to the wall behind you. Keep your navel drawing in. Imagine your front ribs pulling in. Breathing in and breathing out. And then from here, bend the elbows and grab onto opposite elbows behind your head. Awesome. Full breath in here. Full breath out. Hinge to the right. Inhale, center. Keep your hips balanced. And hinge to the left. Come back to center. Release the hands so they come behind your back again. Bend your knees to pull your belly on your thighs, folding forward, knuckles to the ceiling. Let your head relax and enjoy that beautiful stretch for the upper back. Breathe in, breathe out. And then slowly release the hands down. Now we're walking our hands forward into downward dog. So we're back in our down dog, breathing in, breathing out. Looking forward, breathing in. Step your right foot forward and then lower your left knee down in a lunge. Now you choose the depth of lunge that you want. If you want it to be a little deeper, sneak that back knee back a little bit more. Now we're reaching the hands straight forward and up as we lift the upper body up. Bend the elbows, grab opposite elbows, and then hinge to the right. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. And then from here, come back to center. Release the left hand down onto the mat. The right hand reaches to the back edge of your mat as you lift the left knee, and then pivot both feet and let that outer left hip sink down. Big stretch for the right IT band and the left outer hip. Full breath in. Full breath out. Breathing in, lift the right hand. As you lift the hips, pivot the feet, step back, down dog. Breathing in. Left foot steps forwards, breathing out. Right knee lowers down, adjust into your lunge that feels good for you. Settling in here, hands then reach up. Pull the thumbs back, and then bend the elbows, grab onto opposite elbows. Hinge over to the left. Breathing in and out. Beautiful. Back to center. Release the hands. Right hand comes down onto the mat. Right knee lifts up. Left hand sweeps back. We pivot the feet. Reach that left hand towards bottom edge of mat. Breathe in and out. Beautiful. When you're ready, inhaling, left hand lifts, pivot the feet, hips lift, and then we step back, downward dog. Wrap those triceps in toward your face. And then lower the knees down, untucking the toes, shifting hips to heels, child's pose. Maybe stack your hands under your forehead. Breathe in, breathe out. And then slowly come all the way up to seated on the shins. If you were using a blanket under your knees, just take a moment to set it aside and sweep your feet forward. So the knees are bent, feet are on the mat. about hip distance with the feet, but they could be a little bit wider. The hands are coming back behind us with the thumbs pointing out. Okay? Take a moment, make sure your hands feel about shoulder width, and open your chest. So send the sternum up to the ceiling. You'll feel the space open up between the front of your shoulder and your pec muscles. Okay? So this whole region starts to get nice and spacious. Yeah? Can be a fabulous stretch, especially if you slouch a lot. Yeah? From here, draw your heels just slightly closer to your hips. And then think of pulling your heels into you and then lift your hips up, reverse table. Do not drop the head back on this, but instead focus on getting the hips as high as the knees. Feel your chest open and press equally into the palms. Notice which knuckles are pressing down. Notice your breath. Fully in, fully out. And then gently lower your hips down. Inch the feet forwards, relax over your thighs. And then slowly sitting up again, hands come back. This time thumbs point in, fingers point toward the body. Hands walk back so the elbows bend a little bit on this one. Draw your elbows toward each other. So again, we're noticing the opening through the front of the shoulders. Walk your heels in a little closer. Press into your feet, lift the hips up, straighten the arms. Again, do not drop the head back. Focus on the hips and the strength in the arms. Press those palms down. Breathe. And then gently lower your hips down. Walk the feet forward. Relax over the thighs. And one more, sitting up. Elbows down onto the mat now. Fingers are just outside the hips. Elbows again are under the shoulders, so make sure you adjust so you feel that beautiful stability. The heels draw in. Keep the head and neck neutral. Hips lift up. Yes. So again, chest is going to get a nice bit of opening, but especially in through the front of the shoulders. Work those hips a little higher. Press the heels down. Breathe. Yeah, enjoy all that wonderful work. And then slowly lower the hips down. Edge the feet forward. Press yourself up. Relax over the thighs. Beautiful. When you're ready from here, roll it up to a seat. And then lay down onto your back, drawing the knees in toward the chest. And just give yourself a nice little rock side to side with your hands on your knees. And then draw circles with the knees. Just offering your lower back a lovely massage. So circles either way, both ways. Find a nice little sway. And then we'll come all the way in through stillness. Let the soles of the feet come down. Adjust your shoulder blades, adjust your head and neck. Make sure you feel nice and neutral here. And then let's work into reclined pigeon. Right ankle over left thigh. Pausing here and just gently bringing the right hand to the inner right knee. This could be enough of a stretch today. If it's available, the left knee can start to pull in toward the chest, and then we take both hands behind the left thigh or in front of the left shin. Finding that sensation of opening through the outer right hip. Maintain the stability in the low back. And see if you can bring your chin in toward your throat a little bit. And just breathe here. See if you can relax through the skin on your face. And then from here, release your hands, but keep your legs in the same position, and then just cross your right thigh over your left. You might even be able to tuck your right ankle behind your left calf in full twisted roots. Arms can come out to the side, and you can use a little momentum to send your hips toward the right, and then knees pull in deeply over and down to the left. So big twist here. If your right shoulder feels a little bit stubborn today and tight, maybe even around your right rib cage, you may prefer to rest your right hand on the right hip. Do what you can and breathe into this space. We started class with a lovely little massage for our core, and we're ending our class or closing our class with that same idea. So just do your best to find the breath in the belly. Feel that gentle massage from the inside out. And then slowly draw your knees into your chest and then back up through center. Undo the legs. Readjust through your hips. They're nice and neutral. Breathing in, breathing out. Shoulder blades are flat. Head and neck are neutral. Lower back is connected to the mat. Left ankle across right thigh. Maybe pausing here. Left hand to the inner left knee and enjoying that opening. If it's available with ease, that right knee will pull in, and then the hands grab behind right thigh or in front of right shin. And we breathe. In and out of the nose. Find your edge. And be kind to yourself. Slow, deep breathing. And then when you're ready from here, slowly release through your grip. Allow the right foot to come down, and then the left thigh crosses over the right. Maybe you can tuck the left foot behind the right calf, maybe not. Arms can come out wide. Use a little momentum to lift your hips up and over to the left, and then lower them over and down to the right. Slow, deep breathing. The tighter you can pull your knees into your chest, the more you'll be able to find opening in your upper back or the thoracic region. And then when you're ready, just nice and slow, draw those legs back through center, undo, get neutral through the hips, and then just lengthen down through the legs. Maybe cover yourself up with your blanket if you need. Otherwise, just getting comfortable and balanced through the body. Close the eyes and just follow the breath. Follow the breath in and follow the breath out, allowing your body to soften a little more with each cycle of breath. Allowing any final bits of tension to simply release. Allowing the tongue to sink heavy in the mouth and listening for any messages that need to come through for you today. Notice all the things that no longer serve, just fall away. And embrace that clarity and encouragement toward the next steps in your journey. Drawing a full breath in when you're ready. Start to take a nice stretch and reach through the arms and legs. Maybe a little wiggle, maybe a yawn. When you feel ready, the knees pull into the chest, hug the arms around. And then roll yourself up into a seat, something comfortable. And let's bring our palms to prayer at heart center, sitting nice and tall here. Noticing all those inner spaces we opened up to through our practice today. All the uncovering through the heart space. Let's draw a complete breath all the way in of loving gratitude into ourselves. And a full breath of loving gratitude out for everyone else. Thank you for our practice today. Namaste. And I sure hope you discovered a new pathway into your heart space, yeah? And a little more freedom around there as well. Alongside some clarity of mind. Beautiful. Thanks for being here. Good morning, Suzanne. Thank you for being here in class. Hope you feel super fantastic. And see y'all again very soon. Much love, everyone. Bye.